Believe it, we are actually halfway through April. You know what's coming up this Tuesday? Tax day for all you entrepreneurs and W 2s. So let's get this party started. The Jew Show. Welcome to the Jew Show. We are so glad that you're spending your time with us when you can be someplace completely else doing something completely different. So, welcome. Come on in. The weather is fine. Yes, we're talking 60 some degrees in Chicago. Finally. Also, go ahead and put in your chat where you are chiming in from. We definitely want to know a coast to coast because we can cover, who is chiming in and joining us on this Sunday. We have a special guest as usual, but this is definitely a special journey for this person. So before we get started, I'd like to go ahead and welcome whoever is out there. Put your name in the chat, or not your name, but where you're chiming in from. And if this is your very first time, I mean, very first time here, go ahead and put a one in the chat. But if you've been here before, say before. If you've been counting, put the number in there. So before we get started, I just wanted to say that yes, our mission is to inspire and empower individuals by providing a platform for entrepreneurs to share their transformative stories and expertise. The Jew Show highlights the importance of real estate investing, financial literacy, and business ownership as a pathway to achieving financial independence and building generational wealth. So, our purpose is to spark that meaningful conversation that inspires mental and financial growth. Yes, the Jews Show exhibits to empower those who seeking transformation and opportunity, equipping them with knowledge, support, and a thriving community to help them succeed. That's what the Jew Show is all about. So come on in, everybody. Welcome. We are glad you are here joining us today. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Juice Show, where we inspire, I'm telling you, entrepreneurs, industrial experts, and thought leaders. We definitely like to share with you what's behind the scenes, and what you're seeing right now is entrepreneurs and investors across the coast from west to east and in between, sharing what they've been doing since they've joined the community. So without further ado, we'd like to share with you even a video of ours that we have created, our own video. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Let us know where you're chiming in from so I can definitely call you out. Oh my goodness. Yes, Rich Rising Family, ATL Georgia is always in the building. Welcome, Kim. We are so glad. Talk about our number one supporter. I'm telling you, she's been here from the beginning. I think I've lost count how many times she's been showing up, but definitely appreciate your support each and every Sunday. Thank you so much. Who else is out there? Let us know, the city that you are chiming in from so we can definitely call you out. And also the people that invited you as well, to let them know that you showed up and you definitely showed out by asking questions. If you have any questions, definitely put them in the chat. We want to definitely respect the speaker, so we ask that you just please refrain from advertising your business as well. We want to take away from the speaker. And guys, get ready and set to enjoy the Juice Show video. Feel free to dance along. Go for it. Oh my gosh, I love this video. I love the colors, the sound, the music. It says a lot about our talents behind the scenes of actually playing the music itself. So we're about to play that for you. Here we go. Yes, how far would you go?
We want to play it again.
That's right. Get this party started. Absolutely. Welcome. Come on in. I see you, Felicia from West Beach, Florida. I'm sure I butchered that. I am so sorry. All right, everybody. So let's go ahead. I'm going to, hey, the hostess by the mostest behind the scenes and in front of the camera. We got people, the Juice Crew. We got Jerry. We got James. We got Bobby. We got Teresa. We got Chauncey. We also have myself as well. So without further ado, oh my God. All right, listeners, listen up. Today is not your average episode. This one is truly special. We have a guest whose story is nothing short of incredible. From being homeless to becoming someone who buys buildings. Yes, buildings. This person has completely flipped the script on his life, but it wasn't easy. Along the way, he faced the kind of financial struggles that many of us fear: predatory loans, uncertainty, and that overwhelming feeling of not knowing how to move forward. But through education, grit, and unstoppable determination, he didn't just survive, he thrived. And now he is on a mission. He's using everything he's learned to help others master their money, unlock cash flow, and realize that financial freedom isn't just for the few, it is for you too. So if you've ever felt stuck, unsure, like you meant more, like you meant for more, you're in for a serious dose of inspiration today. Please help me welcome to the show the one and only Tony Carenza. Woo!
Hi, everybody.
Take it
Hello, hello,
away,
hello.
guys. Take it away, guys.
Welcome, welcome, Tony. How you doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal, guys. How's everybody here?
Great, great, great. Well, we glad to have you on our show today, Tony.
That's
So
awesome.
let's start off with getting people just a little bit of background about yourself. Where exactly are you from, city and state, and then tell us a little bit about growing up.
Yeah, so born and raised Chicago, Illinois. I actually we moved every year almost. So I went to four different high schools, three different middle schools, kind of here in Palatine, out in the city for a little bit, and then back out to the burbs. So yeah, born and raised here, man. And a little bit about me, I basically grew up everywhere. I even lived in Houston, Texas for a little bit, is for about 2, 3 years as well. So kind of move in about everywhere, all over Chicago.
Awesome. Okay, gotcha. And so what were you doing like before real estate investing came about?
Oh man. So before real estate, I've been in retail sales for a little bit. Um, Before I got involved heavily with Renatus, I ended up doing cell phone sales. So I worked for every major carrier. I train and develop little sales team in between in there as well. So yeah, no real estate transactions at all in my professional field.
I got it. So I remember like early on in your childhood life, like what type of struggles did you face like growing up?
Oh man. So, my mother, hardworking woman, right? Immigrant mother came in doing her thing, working two minimum wage jobs, just trying to make it all work. And she slipped, got hurt the back of her neck, and from her neck down, she became a temporary quadriplegic. She couldn't move her arms, couldn't move her legs, couldn't do anything. Um, and then she got, fired from one job, right? Because and then ended up getting two-thirds of minimum wage on her other job while trying to support a family, right? So that did not we had more month remaining at the end of our money than we had money. So I ended up knowing pretty quickly what it was to have an empty fridge and then essentially to get kicked out of the house because we couldn't afford to live anywhere. So yeah, that's a little bit kind of how I went through, how I came out to be. And then after that, I started learning how can I think of my feet? How can I contribute to my household? And I started selling. They would, those fact like, people would throw like company parties and things like that, and invite the kids, right? So I would go to those parties and I'm like, hey, can I, get all the toys and get all the stuff? So I would literally have a box full of like prizes and I would go door to door sales with all those prizes the next day. So that way we can have food or I can do whatever I need to do for school and just little things for that. So I had to learn how to use my somewhat young teenage cuteness to to make some ends meet and get some things going. So yeah, early wake up call in life.
Man, that's huge. That is huge, bro. Like what would you say limited beliefs? What did you have to unlearn?
Oh, okay, so it's crazy. I was just talking about this, and I had to unlearn to be broke. Like I had to unlearn to start like looking at like just let go of the mindset that eventually this is gonna go away, right? Because one of the biggest and it's funny we're even talking about this, but um, I'm constantly auditing what needs to be leveled up in my life. There's a constant audit of saying, okay, let me assess, let me see where I'm going, what we're gonna do, right? And unlearning to be broke has been huge for me because I had to learn to let go and literally say, like, wait a minute, I I don't have to operate with how long is this gonna last. That's the biggest thing. I had to get rid of the question is how long is this gonna last? And what's crazy is like I didn't realize this was running in my background. Jerry and I, we've had conversations of things that run in the background, and I had to get rid of that. It's like that fearfulness of what if something happens, or what if something happens? What am I gonna do? I got so used to being fight or flight that I had to take a minute and say, wait a minute, I can plan this out. Wait a minute, this isn't just gonna happen. There's a step by step process that has to happen for me to get back to that place. Right. So I had to unlearn triggers and traumas and say, wait a minute, okay. And then learn those good habits that keep me in that place. Let me look at my budgeting. Let me look at how much I'm spending. Let me look at these things, but not, and at the same time in my mind, I don't have that dawning question of how long is this going to last, Tony? How long is it going to last that you're okay? Right.
Did you-
So go ahead, brother.
No, no, go ahead, man. Finish what you were
Uh,
saying.
and that's the thing, man. So I had to really pay attention, say, what are the beliefs that are running in my background?
Okay.
Right.
So, so when you was
Like,
kind of feeling like you was in that survival mode, right? What
Mhm.
kept you going?
Anchoring my why. Anchoring my why. A, a lot of like, if you don't know why you do something, no matter what happens, the troubles of life will come and blow your boat over.
Mm.
Right. But having a solid why and actually having a like vivid, right? You know, when you're a kid, you're walking around and you're trying to jump slow because you're in space and you're bobbing and moving, right? As a little kid, it's the same thing. When you're stuck with it, when you grab your why and say, what is it? Why am I really doing this? And for me, it was understanding that I'm doing it for choice. I'm doing it so my kid can have a choice of what college they want to go to. I'm doing it so we can choose and say, do we want the Volkswagen or do you want the Beamer? Like, why do you do what you do? And then when life comes at you and has you, okay, so you're this person, you want to do this. All right, Jerry. You got dreams, Jerry? Cool, Jerry. And then you say, yes, right, life, I do. I do have these dreams, and this is what I'm anchoring my mind to. Like once you anchor your mind and literally like just constantly beat it into your mind and say why you love what you do, why do you want to keep doing it, and why do you keep loving it? What it becomes it becomes almost like a second breath. And what's crazy is when you're so convinced that what's for you is for you, every time you hear a no is exciting. Because I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me no, I'm that much closer to what I'm gonna get done.
Sure. So
Right.
when did financial education become a priority for you?
Um Once I had to fight for my kid. Um Once financially things came knocking on my door and I realized that I don't have much. Like if something were to happen or something were to happen, there's not much to stand on. So that's when I started getting busy because I realized that the only thing that's keeping me at bay is this little thing I'm doing here. And as a man that wants to provide and wants to lead and protect, that's terrifying, right? So I had to get clear on what are the things that I value. If I value protection and provision, great, get in shape. I used to be 260. I was a whale and I was sick and constantly feeling bad. Then I'm like, this has got to change. And literally design a life that you want. Like design it. Life's a catalog book. Like, okay, do you want a good family? Yes. Okay, what do I gotta do to build one? Oh, if I want to have this vacation, okay, great. How far is it? Where is it? And how do I get there? Same thing in life, guys. How far is your dream? What is your dream? How do you get there? Right? Literally, it's designing the life that you want based on the things that you value, based on the things that on your whys.
Mm. Yo, that is super, super powerful, bro. Super powerful. So you went from when growing up, uh, homeless, having problems, your mother had that accident, she couldn't work, you were going to benefits to gather things, going knocking on doors to make money, selling to get money for food, and now you have this mindset. After a while, it started changing because you know that you wanted better for yourself. So, with that said, how did real estate play a part, and how did you get into real estate? Like, how did you get introduced to this community?
Well, I actually was driving and I saw those roadside signs. Right, I love those big old yellow roadside signs back in the day. And it said, you know, real estate investor seeks trainee. Call here. And I'm like, I'm down to be a trainee. I want to learn some stuff. So I made a call and I said, you know what, something's got to give. And I called the number. I said, I'm gonna do something new. And I ended up meeting Bob Tierney, the man, the myth, the legend himself, right? And we had a heart to heart. I shared with him everything that was going on, and I told Bob, I'm like, Bob, I can't afford not to be part of this, right? A place where you can actually come and you have not just professional people, but successful professional people helping you out, holding you up, and saying, hey, like, come join us, do this with us. That's huge, man. That's not something you see in the streets. It's not something you typically see anywhere else. So a
Mhm.
love and supporting community aspect, man, there is nothing other like this.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. So you saw the sign and you made that call. Now, of course, you were looking for change, and as you said, you couldn't afford not to do this. So, with that said, were you looking to do what kind of real estate were you looking to do? Did you have a vision prior to getting into this, or what was your everything coming into this? How were you thinking?
Yeah, so for me, man, it was all survival. I came in with the mindset, I'm like, hey, I'm working my butt off in retail, I'm working my butt off in this. Something's got to give. I don't know anything about real estate, which is why I call that number. Um, and then when I was exposed to the community and the people that we had around us that made things easier, right? I was like, oh, okay, so then a plan started formulating. I'm like, wait a minute, I can build something, and this is why I'm so passionate about showing people what they can do through finance and real estate. Because for me, credit was a mystery. For me, someone owning a house, like that wasn't really for me. It was people who had money and credit and connections, right? It was that can't be me, right? And then to speak to one of Jerry's former questions is I had to learn that it is for me. I had to let myself be included in life's blessings, right? I would find reasons why things didn't belong to me, and I was like, this isn't it. Yeah, and then I fell in love with the community and what I thought would take me, years later, once I got myself in a position ready, right? Because I had to get my credit fixed. I had to get all these things because I had done everything wrong in life, right? I was assisting others with like providing my credit for cars. I was doing what I can just to get by, right? I was like, okay, and I shot my credit down. At one point, I was completely unscorable, and my thing was, I was like, how do I dig myself out of this hole? Because I'm trying to get to neutral at best. I'm trying to get to zero at best, right? How do I stop the bleed? And that's the first thing that I started learning with Renatus is how to stop that financial bleed, how to understand what budgeting is, how to understand what credit score looks like, how to understand what a negotiating conversation sounds like. So for me at that time, it's not like even I even had I had no plan. I had no plan and a paddle in the middle of a raging river, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, guys. So
Mm,
enough to know that I don't know what's going on, and that
right.
I had to change something.
Right, right. And it seemed like most of us, that's where we come from. If we were comfortable where we were, we probably would never found this opportunity in the first place. So you had said something, right? And I'm actually what this means. You said designing the result you want with complete intention. What does that mean to you?
Working backwards. I thank you for asking me that. Working backwards has been huge, huge in the way that I'm setting goals and the way that I'm doing things, especially now. Um, for example, I had a friend of mine who's diabetic, and I'm like, hey, what do you want to do? How do you want to fix this? This is where you're at. How are you gonna fix this? And along with the doctor, they designed a 6 month plan, literally going backwards. By he went back to his doctor and told his doctor, "Hey, I want to have this. I want to have my A1C at these numbers. I want to do these things." So they started working backwards. So what does this look like on a daily basis, right? Now we started doing, and now I'm like, okay, so this is how they build the plan. Let's do this now with finances. I want to have a good vacation with my family. Okay, what does that look like? In 6 months, what needs to happen that, and I'm saying 6 months because I usually run on a 6 month timeline is how I set up bigger goals. And I say, okay, in 6 months, what needs to happen? And you'd be like, man, I'm so happy I sat down with James today that we hammered this out and we hammered these details. And we say, okay, so to get to this level in life, to get this level that you want to get these vacations, that you want to have this cash flow, you want to do these things, how are you in these other areas of life? How are you with your marketing? How are you with your reaching out to other potential buyers? How are you reaching out to doing all these different things, right? How comfortable are you? And then you rate them from 1 to 10. Oh, I'm not comfortable with these things. I'm not this comfortable financially. Okay, great. So now we see where you feel that you're at, what needs to get applied to get to that level 10, so that by the time that 6 month rolls around, you already level 10 across the board saying, I'm comfortable with this. And because I'm comfortable with these things, these other things are now happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So
I
you
like
literally break it down and you visualize and you see it.
I like that. Vision. Vision plays a big role in life, and it sounds like once you know the big picture, where you're going, and then from there you just design a plan, you work backwards to achieve that.
Hmm.
All right, sound good. So well, I guess because you remember financial literacy is something where we're big on in this community, and
Yeah.
it's one thing to make money, but what's better is to keep it, right? So,
Yeah.
so I love that we learn that through our education. So how has the education or real estate impacted your life?
Oh, huge. Um, I mean, you guys already asked me some of my favorite classes, right? So my number one thing for having financial literacy is huge. Um, Start off with understanding credit. That was my single biggest thing. I'm like, I know credit is important. I know it's huge. I know everyone asked about credit, FICO this, FICO that. I'm like, what is all this? Um, And then once I realized how important credit works, let me learn about it, right? I started to understand that, hey, it can affect your insurance. It can affect your insurance rates. I was like, what? All right. So I started learning all these different things and then applying it and then sharing that information with my immediate family. I was like, hey guys, like, don't apply for that card at TJ Maxx. Hold on before you do that. Hang tight. Did you know you can use your credit as a tool? Did you know you can actually make money with credit? All of these different things that you can do. And this is not just credit, right? I mean, this is all financial tools, right? This is 401ks, it's self-directed 401ks. This is understanding tax and legal. Like, asking the right questions and having the right professionals. Right. So a lot of these things, like I've been audited before because I used to go to like these little like community places that they do your taxes for you for like $30, but then they misdid them. And next thing you know, I got audited and I'm like, what is happening? And literally I came back and I come back and I talk to Perrin and I'm like, Perrin, I got audited. And he's like, why didn't you talk to me? And I was like, wait a minute, I can just come talk to you? Like I don't have to like book an appointment and do it. He's like, no, just talk to me. And that's when I got that it was like real people helping real people. Right. All of these things. And ever since then, I'm like, Perrin is he's my CPA. He's my guy.
That's what's up.
Right. So yeah. So it was the people that just like, hey, like you don't have to go through these things anymore. Right. And ask me questions, ask me these things. When I first met Eric Counts, he didn't sit and was too cool for school to or too school even talk to me. We sat down and talked for like 20 minutes the first time we ever met. So it's been huge, man. And I can't be more grateful enough with that question, just because like if it wasn't for even the little, I know I have so much more to learn, but just the fact that I got to know the basics, how to dribble, pass, and dunk and shoot, right? Like you got to know the basics of the game that you're playing. So yeah, this has been huge.
Sure. Like you say, it's the essentials, right? You got to have the essentials first, right? To kind of
Exactly.
so what would you say to someone who thinks that they're too far behind? Because I heard you talk about, hey man, I just wanted to get to the even point, right? And we all know, man, in real estate in this market, you can lose your shirt. You could go beneath zero, right? And so I heard you say that. What do you say to that person who feel like, man, I'm too far behind. I can't catch up with this guy, right? What would you say to that?
Hmm. Who taught you that? Like, who taught you that for real?
Mhm.
Right? It's like, did someone teach this guy this? So, like, show some grace to yourself. Be graceful with yourself, right? Because from all that judgment, there's love. People that judge themselves super hard is also because they're big lovers, right? So have some of that grace with yourself and understand that mental pressure literally only only exists in the mind. Like pressure outside the mind doesn't exist. It doesn't. I mean, unless you're being squeezed, right? Obviously, there's physical pressure, but like that mental pressure, all that stuff, like that stuff isn't real, right? And so when you realize like this stuff isn't real and all these objections and all these things, like yeah, when I realize all this is self-made or taught from someone else's value systems, that wait a minute, I get to design the person I want to be. Yeah, choose that. Choose that because all this frustration and all this stuff is it's just you shooting all over yourself. Stop shooting over you, right? It's not fun to get shut on.
Right. Or get dripped on, right? All right. So
Exactly.
what are three key skills, right, that every new investor should develop?
Oh man. Understand, calling yourself out, and I call it a skill. Calling yourself out because if you the moment you're realizing you're on something that's not the vibe, call yourself out. Have fun with yourself. Make fun of yourself. And that's why I love that phrase, like you shouldn't be like stop shoulding over people. SHOULD. Right. Second is learn to talk to anybody. Learn to talk to anyone and everyone. It could be the president or it could be the homeless guy. Learn to talk to everyone and be genuinely appreciative of that person. Because you don't know where that's going to lead you from one contact to another contract. Right. Like, so yeah, talk to everybody and anybody, include me, mama. And then take off so much of that pressure of yourself. Again, stop shooting all over things. It should look this way. It should look, just be. And when we can just be and let go of the outcome, oh man, it's almost like you become magical. Some of the most beautiful conversations I've ever had have never been planned. Right? So I think I said more than three things, but get
Nice.
good at calling yourself out. Yeah, right. Stop shooting all over yourself and learn to talk to everybody and anybody.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and then literally just being intentional. Practice intention. Practice intention. After this podcast, I'm gonna grab my mom and we're gonna go for a 2 mile walk. Now, if that happens, my word to myself gets strengthened and my relationship to my word gets better. If it doesn't happen, then my relationship to my word suffers. This is why a lot of people don't believe themselves when they promise themselves something. And this is why they don't have the actions that follow up that belief because their word with themselves is broken.
You better preach the juice today, Tony.
That's fire right there.
Yeah, you talking to somebody today. It might be me.
I'm just talking to myself, guys. I'm just talking to myself here. It's crazy how that works. Ministering to others, ministering to yourself.
Facts. Big facts. All
Yeah.
right. All right. No, this is great, man. This is great. You are dropping gems, bro. I'm digging this. So, okay, well, with that said, after you get up to the community, how long did it take before you started seeing results and kind of making the cash flow and getting to where you wanted to be?
So what's crazy is I've been part of this community for almost a decade,
Mhm.
and nothing started happening until I declared it. And I'm like, I'm tired of just sitting by and not doing these things, so I'm gonna help out. Next thing you know, my friend's like, "Hey, I'm getting foreclosed on. Can anyone help?" And I'm like, "Oh, opportunity met preparation." Right. So then we started talking and helping out and doing these things. Then I said, "Okay, wait, let me get into short-term rental." It was gonna be 2 months, but I know people. We can do this. I'm gonna see how, but we're gonna get into one because of the connections I built in this community. What would take me 2 months took me 2 weeks. Right, because I was able to literally go from I picked up velocity because of my relationships,
Mm.
and I can do things with velocity. Right, people think like there's point A and point B, and you have to like go across this line. Right, there's people think linearly, but in reality, you don't have to necessarily do that. If you know where point A starts and point B finishes, why don't you just fold it and then jump? Also, another quantum jump. Right. How can I not shortcut the process, but shortcut the gestation period, I guess you could call it, right? It's like how can I jump to this next thing? And then when you jump to the next thing, you're good to go. But you do that through knowledge and you do that through relationships. You get those quantum jumps by getting closer to people who are performing at the level that you want to perform at.
Mhm.
Right? And that's why I'm so grateful for the Bob Cheney's, the Scott Rose, the Ed Kirches, right? Because while other people are criticizing the game, so there are people that are playing it. And those are the conversations I want to have. The conversation in the court is very different than the conversation in the game, right? Like we're going down court. I'm gonna pass it to you, Bobby. I'm not worried about like what color shoes you were wearing. You feel me?
Got it.
Like I need you, right? Like it's a different conversation we're having.
Right.
So I learned to mind my conversations as well.
Hmm. Conversation is key, especially with this. And you keep bringing up relationships, contact to contract. I love it. So building up your, so were you always this open and being free to speak with someone? And did you get that from your humble beginnings from going door to door?
A little bit. I also, one of the things was I didn't trust anybody. And I didn't learn to trust until I started seeing how people in different spaces moved that I don't want them to be in. Right. One of the things is I learned to work backwards, right? So I started seeing like how are these guys walking around with money and like they're not getting robbed. Right? It's like, wait a minute, like how you walking around is still okay, sir. Right? How are your friends not taking from you, sir? What like who are you? How does this work? And then I started seeing like what builds good relationships. And it's being a person of value. See, when you're a person of value, it's impossible for people to take from you because they're just going to get paid anyways. Right? So when you're plugged into the unlimited, how can you lose? Right? So just,
Beautifully said. If you plugged in, how could you lose? 100%, bro.
All right, Tone. So look, let's do this. You did have three classes that we want to bring up. These classes made a big difference in your life, and these are three that you really had a lot of good benefit. You took a lot from, right, amongst all the other fire ones. So we're gonna bring those up so that way you can walk us through each one. Just briefly describe, what you got, what you took from each of those classes. Once we get those up, but while we get those up, let me shoot you another question. Okay, so how has your uh family benefited from what you're doing in your real estate and your business? Because I know you love, I met you, I think I seen you down in Nationals. You even bring people with you all the time. Like you always getting the word out. You like Tony, y'all don't know about Tony. Like you could sit Tony in a crowd of people and Tony, you turn around, everybody following Tony, like 30 people just walking behind him going to he takes them somewhere is beneficial. He's very great at the social environment. So Tony, what do you like? How your family's benefited from that? Who's tagged along with you?
oh man. Well, obviously my mom loves the fact that, I'm making a little money now, so she's pretty grateful for that. And excuse me, I hope you don't mind me turning everything around. I had to charge my phone here. Um, yeah, so she's super happy. She never thought it was crazy because uh, okay, a couple years ago, um, before I, more of I hadn't really done much. My mom, small little win. My mom received an Amex Platinum card offer, and she saw it, and she's like holding it, and she's like, Tony, did you repair my credit? And I'm laughing, right? I'm just like we went from she cashed in all her credit cards to get to provide what she could, credit destroyed to I literally was able to like, Mom, you got an Amex credit card offer. And sure, it may not be a $1 million check, right? That's being worked on right now for her, right? But it's the fact that I was like, we weren't like you don't have to be embarrassed anymore. Um, like that. It's like the fact that she didn't have to walk around embarrassed because she had to borrow to pay, right? Like she couldn't even pay back. Right. So like she defaulted on all these different things and not to throw her business out there, but it's like she did what a mom could with the education that she had, which was very limited. right? This I'm so grateful because I'm just like, oh, like it may be a small thing to someone, but I was like, Mom, like that says your name on it. It's not a bill with a red notice on top saying like I'm gonna take your peace away because you can't pay us. Right. So what was the question? Sorry. I got into like my feels on that one, man, but
Oh
like it just
no.
hit me.
No, but you answered the question. You show how what you do, you took action in doing, right? And how it's trickled down because you're always sharing, you're always showing people stuff. So I know you share with your family, or they just see from a distance what you're doing. I was just kind of wondering how that has also benefited other people around you. Even when I
Oh,
say family,
yeah.
friends are family, even people you surrounded by be considered family. So how has that really impacted their life?
Oh man, all my conversations are different. I have literally almost every friend I have communicated an expectation like, hey man, listen, if we're gonna be friends, just know that I'm gonna love you. But if I'm gonna love you, I'm also gonna stand for you, but I'm also not gonna stand for your crap. Like that's just
See
gonna
the
be love
friend.
because it is.
All
Right.
right.
So yeah, and that's the thing, man. It's like so all my conversations now are around like what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for your goals? What are you doing for your business? What are you doing for your family?
That's
Right.
perfect.
And if I'm just sitting and if I'm just like if I'm sitting there as your friend and just watching you rot away, I'm not your friend.
Facts. Facts. All right.
Right.
We just pulled up your classes on the screen. Are you seeing it on your end?
I am, yes.
All right, perfect. All right, go ahead and briefly go through each one. Tell us how it benefits you.
I was gonna say it's like you guys picked my three favorite classes, like you know somehow. Oh man. So my first and foremost favorite class, as you can see right here, is understanding your investor ID. This class is golden for me. And the reason I love it is because you have an amazing breakdown of doing real estate transactions that move at the speed you move at. Right? Because some people, like myself, I'm big on just like quick results. Let's get her moving. I need to see something happening. Let's move on to the next thing. Whereas a short sale isn't short at all, right? It's a very long process. So what this class helped me to do, man, is one, be always prepared with what to share with people. He talks about this. He talks about an audio, like an audio business card that you have ready. And second is understanding your psychology. So that way, when you're building a business for yourself, it's literally built on your terms on how you like things done and the type of transactions you have. Because in real estate, obviously, we got slow transactions, we got fast transactions, right? So just depending on what you like. Negotiations, another golden one. It taught me how to see conversations and conversational flow as an equation. I started saying, wait a minute, all these pluses and multiplications, these are buying signs. Oh, these buts and ands and all these other things. Okay, well let me look at these things differently, and they help me calibrate socially my conversations. Because you know how some people will talk in and out of a situation, right? They talk themselves in and out of a
Yeah,
deal and not even realize it.
exactly. Yeah, that's when they get too long-winded, they start talking too much.
Exactly, exactly. So, and I'm guilty of that all the time, right? I can talk for days, right? But it's knowing when it comes to a deal or when it comes to a negotiation, what's really happening, right? It's always good to know what's really happening. And then obviously, as you heard me talk about understanding credit, huge shout out to Eric Counts. Um, I mean, it's one of my favorite classes because it's so easily digestible and understandable that you can execute in a lot of it, um, along with their guidance too. But these three classes, man, these were the foundation of how I got better in my social ability and talking to people and the marketing aspect of things because it works. I love the fact that I always do this all the time is I'll be like, hey, James, can I ask you a quick question, bro? Out of pocket. You'd be like, yeah, but now you're ready for an out of pocket, quick, crazy question.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. How you
Even if
do
you're
it?
said, exactly. Exactly. When you be surprised, man, what you can get away with in life if you just are open about it.
That's right.
Right. When I was
All right, Bobby. Sitting there like,
what was that?
no, I was just telling Bobby.
Bobby,
Is- Hey,
get in.
My turn.
the
It's my turn. All right, all right. Yo, make some noise for Tony, man. He is giving
Me
y'all the juice
too.
this morning. Man, no, this is great, man. I love it. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is get to the announcements. And yeah, so make sure the people that you are with are making sure you're getting to the right events and everything like that. So everybody, if you're brand new, your first time here, your 30th time here, this is what's going on. This is announcements. Break out your phone because I'm going to go through a couple things, so we get back to some. Hey, matter of fact, add some questions in the chat for Tony if you have any, if you want to know some more about this young man and what he's doing in the field of real estate investing. All right. Cool, cool. All right. So every Sunday, this is the calendar. Get out your phone. Make sure you get a picture of this. Every Sunday, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, you want to be right here in the Juice Show. All right. If you're brand new to the Juice Show, or if you've been here a lot, we interview different people in the community, uh, where they started, where they've been, what were they doing before real estate, just getting to know the community. So, the people that we're interviewing or questioning, everybody's just regular people that came with maybe a similar background to you, to the point where you can get to that same point. Don't ever think that you can't get to where you want to be. It just takes involving and surrounding yourself with the right people doing the right thing. All right. And if real estate investing is something that brought you here and you're brand new, this is where you want to be, as far as getting to where you want to be. All right. So this is what the Juice Show is, interviewing different people in this community to see where they're at and how they're doing. All right. Cool, cool. All right, and with our very own Mr. Jerry Ruffin, we have the introduction to real estate investing, 10:30 Central, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. All right, this is basically who we are, what we do, and how you can get involved. If you have some questions, or if you want to know how we got to this point, or maybe some of the classes that Tony was referring to, this is it. So this is a introduction to who we are. This isn't going to get you a deal, all right? You don't come here and just watch this and be like, oh, I can do this. Now maybe I can do this on my own. No, this is about community education, all right? So, and learning how to get property so you can get the income that you want and you desire, and you be able to move as fast, as slow as you want to. All right. All right. So this is coming up right after this. So make sure you get to the person who invited you. If you want to get to, man, I want to know more about this. It's coming right up right after this at 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern. All right. Cool, cool. All right. Also today, if you want to get your real estate investing on, today at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, we have the mastermind trainings. All right. What is the mastermind trainings? All right. This is where people bring their leads and have other investors help them go through it to see if this is worth it. Your I's dotted, your T's crossed. How would you find it? How you plan on funding it? Do you have exit strategies? All right, so this is where you want to be, and especially if you want to get to know how to do the numbers and how they come across everything and how we work things out. All right, so if you're lucky, all right, because you got to at least see an introduction or be involved with the community before we can get you here. All right, this is real important. So people can come here and get their questions answered, and join in and see how the community works together, because real estate is about relationships and communication, as you heard earlier today. All right, because those are very important, and especially when it comes to negotiation and building with other like-minded individuals and seeing how everything works out. All right. Cool, that's today. Make sure you get with the person who invited you to see if you can get here to the mastermind trainings. All right, royalty. I feel you. I appreciate it. All right. All right. If you are on Facebook, make sure you come check us out, The Juice Show. Make sure you like, follow, and review. This is the Facebook page. Make sure you leave any suggestions. And matter of fact, if you came in late or if you missed something, you can come back, and this is where we have all our previous podcast recordings right here. All right. So make sure you like, follow, and review. Tell somebody about us, especially if you're on Facebook. We love to have them. And get some more information on us, our podcast. Like you can go all the way back. What number is this, James? I'll call one of y'all out. What this is podcast what?
I think it's 85, right?
85, podcast 85. So we got a whole
85.
catalog that you can go through, and you got your very own juice crew, you know, that you can check out. So we got our own personal, interviews and podcasts ourselves,
The,
letting you know about our background.
the Juice Crew files. The Juice Crew
The
files.
Juice Crew files. I like that, bro. Nice, nice. Yeah, so check us out. All right, right now we got deals of the community, community. All right, this is this is where we we highlight everybody in the community who's taking action, doing big things in the community, and actually taking action and making things happen. So if you are someone who's doing a deal or a part of a deal, make sure you let us know. We get to showcase you in bright lights right here every Sunday, and just to show. And this is not even this is a very small percentage of the people that's making moves. All right, these are just the people that we talk to already or we have contacts with that's able to show what's going on. All right, cool. So that is it, man. Any questions out there, man? Let's make it happen, Captain.
I don't see any questions in the chat. I don't know if there's any questions on Facebook, Jerry or James.
I actually have a thing.
Go for it, Tony.
I know you guys had asked me if there was anything I wanted to plug in or anything like that. If anybody's listening or wants to take advantage of this, I'm willing to give out like a 20-minute assessment that I can, if people want to sit down with me and talk to me, a 20-minute assessment of what next steps need to get done. I'd be more than happy. Hit me up on Facebook, or if you have my number, feel free to give me a call. I'd be more than happy to do that.
Nice. Take
Yeah, so
advantage. Take advantage.
OG. Hey, so just a couple of fire questions I wanted to kind of ask you. Like, what would be your mission statement in one sentence?
I am the interruption in people's limiting stories. That's it.
Fire.
I am the interruption in people's limiting stories, man. Like if you could understand, if you could see yourself the way that I'm a believing man, I'm a God-fearing man, right? For me, it's like if you were to see yourself the way that God sees you, you would cease to walk the same.
Hmm.
If you understand how powerful and how precious you truly are, you would stop hating on yourself so much. Right? But if you truly knew the love and power that you are cared with, everything changes. And where force is needed, power is absent. Right? So understand how you can move and be aware of the conversations going on around it with yourself. Right? So that's all I was just thinking about, like what I can do to give back, right? And it's like, hey, if you just need the quick 20-minute of clarity, let's talk. But see yourself the way that God sees you, and I promise you, things will start changing.
You walk different, talk different,
Hey,
attitude different. Hey, go ahead.
hey, Tony. If you type the way your name is on Facebook, that's what the question is being asked, so they can reach out to you on Facebook.
Oh yeah, it's just my name, Tony Carranza. That's Tony and then Carranza. And if you're on Instagram, officially Tony C. That's the hard one. Officially, and then Tony C.
There you have it in the chat. If you want to look them up on Facebook.
Hey, what's your definition of freedom?
Choice. Want to go to Puerto Rico, Hawaii? Business class or first class, sir?
Choice. Nice.
And not because you have to, it's because you choose to. Literally, you choose it. Ain't that juicy?
What keeps you humble?
Gratitude. Gratitude, man.
Mhm.
I'm no one without God. First and foremost, is not who I am, it's He who walks with me. Second is understanding that I am one conversation away from completely leveling up my life.
What's your worst
Woo.
money advice you ever got?
Worst money advice?
You ever got?
Oh, this is gonna sound funny, but eat what you want. That's the worst advice I ever got. The reason, the reason is because if we don't have that discipline, we're gonna run into the wall, right? Give someone that's homeless a bunch of money to spend on food. They're gonna spend it on BK, Taco Bell. I'm a huge proponent of Taco Bell. All right, I didn't get this way for nothing, right? But for me, right, it's understanding like discipline is key for everything. And if you don't know where your money is going, where it's at, it's the same thing, right? Like, uh, yeah, if I know where my money is going, or yeah, yeah. So just get what you want. Worst advice ever, because sometimes, if there's no discipline intact, you're just gonna have an open wallet. So,
Well, if you gave the worst, you got to give what's the best advice, money advice you got.
oh man, reward yourself. It's kind of crazy, right? It's almost like a two-edged sword. I'm saying don't spend it, but reward yourself because make a system that blesses you. A lot of people just should on themselves because I should be working, I should be this, and you beat yourself in the da, 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 da. And then when the success comes, you're like, oh, that's fine, it's whatever. But then you're just miserable, right? But if you like to play, live internal. I love how Woody talks about it in our drive system that is part of our community, that you live internally. Live internal, be happy, like actually do some the things that make you happy. And if you like spending a little bit of money and doing a little vacation, great, then do something that at the end of that month you've earned that vacation. That vacation's already paid for because of fruits of your labor. Right. So if you're gonna play hard, but design the system that blesses you.
I
Don't just play without work.
love that. I love that. Finish the sentence. If I can do it,
So can you. So can you.
hit him with that last question, Jay.
Man, so what do you want everybody to take away from today? Bless us with the juice.
Hmm. Work while they sleep, learn while they party, save while they spend, live like they dream.
I hear y'all. Did
I
y'all
need some
hear
I
that?
need some sound effects right now. I don't
Mic drop.
have any. Anybody know how to do sound effects?
Yeah, we need a bullhorn. Yeah, there you
Bam,
go.
bam, bam, bam.
Bringing the juice. I love
And
it.
Man,
nothing
but this was
nothing will work unless you guys do, man. That's the thing.
this was super awesome, Tone. You already know you my guy, man. Thank you for coming on, sharing your story, brother. It's powerful. Don't stop doing what you're doing because you are affecting people and changing lives, man. And so that's what this community is all about, right? So that's why we put this thing on so that we can help people see what this community is all about, right? And it's just not coming from one person's aspect, it's coming from a lot of different walks of life. And so, man, thank you for coming on, being so open, being an open book, letting us dive into your story, man. And so we appreciate everything you do for the community. Keep going, brother. Thank you.
It's my
Yeah,
pleasure,
Yeah.
man. Honor to be here. Thank you guys.
thank you, Tom, for going through all those. Here you go, John. I'll just say this real quick. Thank you for going through all the personal development that you had to do, so that way you can leave us with some gems that you left us with today. A lot of the stuff that you said today resonated with me, and I put it in the chat. I threw it back in there because I want to go back and look at some of that stuff. So thank you for being who you are, man, and come sharing your story with us on the Juice Show podcast and being that powerful person, but also instilling words of wisdom and power into other people so they can go out there and be the person that they designed to be.
Tony,
I appreciate you, brother.
man, to think of what your mind came up with at the age of saying, let me collect these toys, and what you did with them. I can't even imagine what that mind would be like at that age. And for you to be able to be here to share with us that experience among all the other experiences that you've gone through, I truly appreciate it. I'm sure we all do. Talk about being an inspiration of never giving up, no matter what age you are, no matter what you're trying to go after in life. So thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for that, LaShawn.
All right, all right. As we wrap up, hey, I'm gonna get that information out to individuals who's looking for a 20-minute session with Mr. Tony. And man, this was eye-opening. I knew you just from being at regionals and things like that, just being a mover and shaker. And now I feel I know you a lot better. And this is what it's all about, getting to build the bonds and relationship with individuals that you're in the community with, and just and being able to give back to the community and helping others and individuals who seeking to do better, be better individuals. And man, we appreciate your time. So with that said, you have been
Juice, juice. Take
juiced.
advantage of his opportunities, putting it out there 20 minutes of his time. Yes.
Absolutely. You guys enjoy the rest of the weekend. We'll see you right. Oh, next Sunday is Easter. So you guys enjoy the Easter weekend, this Palm Sunday. So enjoy the rest of the weekend. And we'll see you guys in the future. 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 Have a great
Future.
weekend.
All right, you guys. Y'all have a good rest of y'all evening. Check out the intro if you haven't been there yet, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Peace.